Alright, there we go. Why is that still there? Alright, here we go. Sorry, I don't know why my microphone decided to not work for a few seconds. Oh well, things happen. That wasn't English. Great. Um, well, we're back in Minecraft. I didn't stream yesterday. I know I said I would, but um, there were plans that I didn't remember, and they went a little bit longer than I was expecting. So I didn't want to do a shorter stream, so I decided to push it back about a day. Oh wait, hold on. I forgot something. Great. All right. Um, as you can see, I have done a few pretty major changes to the whole area. Um, this we're gonna start at some point. As you can see, I already started a little bit. There should be a few chests there, but not quite loading in. Just a little bit too far away. There's also that guy. There's at least one other wandering trader somewhere over there. And I don't know exactly where he is, but I know there's one. Because two spawned while I was working on this. Maybe not? Oh, I guess the other one might have died. Um, but dug out a big old hole and filled like 3 double chests worth of stuff. And then look, there's not even anything good here. I mean, I don't need tropical fish. I live in a desert, friend. This used to be a river, alright? I actively destroy where fish live. Hey now. Yeah, you too. Okay. Sweet, new player heads. I've been slowly assembling um a tower of player heads uh because I get very bored sometimes, and well, I had to kill off a few villagers, so I had some extra heads. So I decided, why not create a tower of them? Hmm. I mean, like, there, you can see I used some of them. How did you get here? This area is completely quarantined from the rest of the base. Like, you cannot get from there to here without me knowing. See, you used to be able to come up um, right here, but I destroyed that because there were just villagers everywhere. Oh, oh, I know exactly where they're coming from. No, they can't come from there. Ah, there's... Seriously, where do you guys keep coming from? This was the only place they should be able to come from, which is an old path that leads all the way down, unless they figured out, like, some stupid way to bypass every bit of security I've built around this base. Like, that guy's just been chilling. So, I guess if they go through the tunnel, slightly up that, and, like, to there, and then wander their way this way for, like, a couple minutes, and then somehow find their way up and into the base. I'm still gonna kill them all because I don't want them there, but you gotta appreciate their dedication. Like that's let's see, do you even have any good trades? I do need more string villagers, but not here. All right, butcher friend. Yeah. Huh. I need to fix that still. I don't have any logs. Great. This is a great start to a roof building stream. We've murdered a few villagers and nothing else. Except also added a few heads to the tower. And now we got a few more. This is like the weirdest thing I've ever done in Minecraft is just build a tower of player heads that originally I killed off a wither, so I got this one, and then I was like, oh, well, I killed another one, so I put that there, and then I just eventually killed a villager, and then an iron golem. Where did I get that? Right. There were, golems in that my pit of sheep. So I killed them, and then one of them dropped a head. So many sheep. This pit took so long to build, you don't even want to know. Like, it is embarrassing how long I spent building this. It was like 15 minutes. Most of that was gathering dirt and grass. The one problem with living in a desert. I might have to expand it again soon, because I need a lot of wool for the project that's over there. Anyway, let's actually get to building the roof of this cathedral. Earlier today, I hopped on for a little bit, tried out one thing. Didn't really work out. It was kind of like just, doing this. And it was, I mean, it was fine, but was not what I was looking for. I wanted the roof to be tall, but not like crazy tall because it still has to, look right. I don't want it so tall that it will dwarf the towers. So this is probably the best place to start it. So my new one is, well, I mean, this will be easy enough, but it's just kind of, that's the wrong thing. Do that. It's so much easier on a wall, but it'll basically just be this all the way up. I have no good way of doing this. That's fine, but... but I'm worried, because with this strategy, like this way up, it will very quickly dwarf the towers. Well, it'll be a little bit taller. And I don't know how to do the front. Like, this front area, you shouldn't be able to see the roof. So, I mean, I could just build the towers taller. I'll probably have to do that. I kind of wanted not to because they're not, like, hard to build, but they're, relatively expensive, and this whole build has been, like, 2 double chests worth of smooth sandstone. And, that was a lot more than I had bargained for. Like, this is kind of all that I have for right now. And a lot of that came from tearing down the tower that used to be right there. That is now that. Which is unfinished. It will continue down this way for until about there-ish. There's a whole thing I'm planning for this base that is unfinished and mostly unplanned still. But such is this. That is just kind of Minecraft sometimes. You're like, well, I have this great idea. You see, the problem is that I'm a garbage builder, which I am. Like, I mean, look at all the beautiful detail I've put in this build so far. Truly amazing. Like, there's still an unused and forever unused, like, I'm just gonna take it down at some point. There's like the item filter and the infinite water source I created, dirt scaffolding still, like this is the perfect show of I don't really know what I'm doing. Right. Yep, I should have seen that coming. Let me just... There we go. Who needs to use blocks when you can just use slabs for everything? Yeah, see, so this roof will, as of now, completely dwarf the towers. And I don't know how I feel about that. Then again, you know, I tried to go realistic, but it's Minecraft. You can only go so realistic. Like, I mean, changing from like if I could do 1.5 blocks out and then up one, that would be perfect. Like the exact height I need. But unfortunately, you cannot because it's Minecraft and that just ain't how it rolls, you know? It decided, nah, we gonna do full blocks today. So we have this instead, um, where it's a whole lot of really tall roofs and straight lines, which I mean is fine. You know, like my entire base up to this point has been a whole lot of blocks and straight lines, except for the pyramid, which you cannot see from here. Oh, there it is. You can kind of see it. I should turn on what's my render distance at? Only 12? Let's turn that up to 15. There we go, you can now see the pyramid. Like, that build is getting to the point where I couldn't see the tower that used to be there. Like, my base is starting to get kind of unruly sometimes, where it's everything around this village is massive, and, like, the village is completely dwarfed. There's beds in there, they're just not loading. And I've said this before, and I'm going to keep saying it, but at some point, I will have to build new stuff for the village. Like, that's just inevitable. And I don't know when it'll be, but it will be very soon. Somehow I feel like that isn't tall enough, but it's still too tall. See, it just doesn't look right. Hmm. Hang on, let's go to I'm gonna go to see all the ones on Google, everything's a little bit closer together. You know, like my build is very wide. Like it's usually that this area right here is about even with the entire roof. Like the reason the roofs are so short is because it only needs to get to about this wide all the way across. That won't work here pretty clearly. Um, so instead, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Um, because unfortunately, the only way to fix this would be to completely redo the build up to this point, and I really don't have the time for that. Well, I mean, I do, but uh, you that's closer. Uh, there we go. Were you having a stroke? Ah, yeah. Um, stuff's going pretty well, except that uh, I can't get the roof to look right. So that's fun. But in other news, uh, I did that. That's been done. Is I'm making it so that, which originally was just like, oh look, it's a crane into the mine shaft. That's kind of cool, isn't it? Uh, will now supply the next build we're going to be doing at some point with materials. I just need to finish that and finish this and finish the rest of it. But need to figure out how to do this roof because the problem I'm having. Hang on, let me give me about 1 minute. Uh, hang on. That's good. Uh, there we go. Okay. So you see this? Um, the problem is that the way we've done this building means that we can't effectively do this. We can't build this roof because up there, you know, the widest part of the building is like the very bottom, and most of that is just supports. And it's like to about here on the towers. Ours, on the other hand, is so much larger than that, and it means that no roof I could build would ever look exactly right. Because I decided not to look up what a cathedral looked like when building this, because I'm stupid, and decided that that wasn't a good use of my time, but did look up individual parts, such as the supports on the side of the building. So we have two options here. Try and figure something out, like we could do some kind of domed roof, which might work. Or we could tear down the entire building as it is now, make it so that these walls are even with the portals, so it's right up against, and then restart. Um, I personally don't want to tear down the entire building because that would take forever. Uh, because smooth sandstone isn't the quickest to mine, and it makes it so that it would take probably the rest of the stream to get rid of a good majority of the walls before we restarted. Um, it also required moving that and moving the entire item system, which doesn't technically have to be finished, right? I don't really need an item transport system. I can just, go down and grab everything. Also, that would, I mean, I could just make it so it goes like through the wall and then up. That would work, but you understand what I'm coming from, right? Yeah. I I don't know. Let's try some kind of domed roof, I guess. Probably building it. I have never been great with domes in Minecraft. Uh, or really any game at all ever. Um, because domes are very difficult to build. Uh, where's that? That's about the middle. But it could look fine. I'm trying to keep it so the roof will not be taller than the towers, which is proving to be much more difficult than I expected. Like I thought, I was like, oh, well, those towers are, what, maybe 30, 40 blocks tall? That should be plenty easy to keep the roof from not that high. But when the walls are about 30 blocks tall and we get this, or, you know, this is our roofing options, there's only so much you can do. So, yeah, that's really making this far more difficult than it should be. I need to try to remember. How did I... Oh, God. I hurt my pinky a few months back. Um, wasn't super serious. I mean, it was probably the worst injury I've had so far. Um, 2, 3, 3, 3. Okay, I need to switch that around a little bit. But it makes it so that long periods of crouching is very hard, as that requires, using my pinky a lot. And, I mean, it's not, like, injured anymore, but it's not exactly healed. Like, it still looks really bad, and, like, there's, like, bruise underneath. Oh, I mean, it's just, like, in between, whatever. You don't want to hear about my injuries. But it made it so that after a lot of building, it's not easy to keep going after a while. Okay, those are about even? Yeah, that's fine. Perfect. Let me check. Nope, that's... Whew. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. Where does this one end? Oh, it's one past the edge of the building. So that means I did one thing wrong. 2... Oh, 2 then 4. I did 2 then 3 then 4. Like a sane person. But no, I just had to go and be weird. There we go. There's 3. Look at that. Even. Done. Amazing. Half one. Perfect. Alright, let's see how this looks. We really won't be able to tell, unfortunately, but it's the roof. No one looks at the roof. Alright, that's pretty good. Better than the last one. Let's go with this for now. My mind's all over the place today. No particular reason, just one of those days. Also, side note, I finished the Enderman farm. It wasn't actually done. I had built about half of the spawning platform. And so it took a little bit. Let's go repair some of this stuff anyway. And it is so massively powerful now that while we're at it, let's make a backup of this world, because why not? Let's see what the world file size is. Also, I've been meaning to do this for a few days actually, but I've just forgotten. Come on, there we go. You can. It always takes a little bit, and I don't know why. You feel like making a backup should be, there we go, it's done. Almost instant, but ooh. I think my game just crashed. Oh, yeah, Minecraft just crashed. Uh-oh. If this is what destroys my world file, I think I would just give up. Like, if I lose my world file trying to back up my world file, that'll be it. I think I'll just I think I'll just stop streaming. I mean, the chances of your world corrupting are very low. But... Oh. Oh. Okay, come on. You can do it. There we go. I do have a backup, but it is old. Like, it's... I don't even want to know how old that world file would be. My last backup. We're good! We did it! Nothing died. Look at that, the roof's still there, even. Oh, that's annoying me. Alright, well, let's go to the Enderman farm. The... Oh, sweet, why? No, I'm doing fine, okay. Okay. Is that it? It's just... I had this... I mean, was it like breaking quarantine or something? Because that's very possible. Some people are like being massive douchebags about this whole thing. Packages. Oh. Yeah, the police really don't care. They're like, nah. Also, I had this weird bug where the last 2 times I've come to the Nether, there's been a baby zombie piglin sitting here, and then it just dies. I don't do anything. I'm just sitting there watching it, and then dead. And it is very confusing, and I think it's one that like came from the farm, goes up here, and then jumps off and dies at the like the possible lowest possible thing. Like, yeah, the police actually don't care. Um, have you ever seen Mark Rober's videos on the glitter bombs? Because he mentions he has video proof of these people stealing packages, and the police are like, yeah, no, they don't. Like, they don't care about people stealing packages. It's a thing that happens. It's just kind of a part of the modern world. And so someone who looks like they're about to steal a package is even less of their worries. But you know the weird thing about this farm? I have killed... This is what I was trying to go to, I think. Over 6,000 Endermen. And I have a single Enderman head from just doing this. I mean, it is... Like, its efficiency has gone up pretty amazingly with the new part of the farm built. Just look at all those Endermen. Just coming on down. And, yeah, I don't even know what to do with all the XP I have now. Like, it's not like I enchant anything. I don't need to. And look at all these Ender Pearls. Who needs Ender Pearls? I have extra sets of Elytra, and enough shulker boxes doesn't matter anymore. Like, I don't need to teleport anywhere. I can fly. I don't know. People who use Ender Pearls are weird. I mean, like, you know that there's a few people out there who like, Ender Pearls are the greatest thing in Minecraft. And it's just, it's just, they need help. Alright, let's... Do you think it'd be best for the roof to go all the way over here, or do you think it should, like, flatten off right here? Or should we just keep this going all the way forward? Because it's going to go all the way back. And I'll probably make it so that there's another starting area right there. Like, it'll just kind of go this way. I guess this way? I don't know. There's so many problems with this build that I didn't think of. Like, the roof, it would be like, oh, it's the roof. No one cares. But then I figured out that I care. And, I've spent far too long building this and thinking about this to not build it properly. Also, I want to, at some point, like, change the base roof material. I don't know if sandstone's the right thing. Like, we could do it so, like, this was sandstone, and, like, the rest of it's cobble. Let's, go down and grab some cobblestone. Because I don't want it just to all be sandstone. I know I'm in a desert, but, you know, there's more to a desert than just sandstone and, I don't know, sand and cactus. So I want something slightly different for at least some of it. What if, alright, we take down this and then make it so that the outside of uh, the roof, okay, see in a bit, I guess. So at the outside of the roof, like this area is sandstone, and the inside area is cobble. Or we could do wood. That's like the one problem is I feel like the cobblestone might look the best because I could build it out of logs, but that would take so many logs. Like, building that new area took like an hour because, well, I mean, there were a lot of design changes without, like, throughout, because there was no sketches on that. That was just, I have an idea. Let's do that. So I, had to go in and alter the design slightly. Ooh. Oh, God. Alright. Here's what we're going to do. Because I have like 6 materials I want to build this out of now, we're going to do 5 block wide sections of every single material and then look at it from above to see what's best. So we'll do, what would that be? 3 of cobblestone and then like 2 of these. So it kind of like shows the whole bit of detail. Alright. This could work. Just like try and get like ribbons of what the roof should look like. I feel like this shape is the only one we can really do that would look good at all. You know, like, just, I don't think anything else will really work for a roof. You can't just do that. That would look bad, right? I feel like there's more. I don't know if I can just do a flat roof on this building. Oh, God. How do builders do this stuff? They just, like, know immediately. Bam! Here's what the entire building's gonna look like. And I'm like, but what if? And then I continue second guessing myself for like 2 hours. This is gonna be like half of this gonna be. Do you think this would look good? Or how about this? That's gonna be all of this build. And the next few streams for it. There's just gonna be, what if I, instead of building a roof, just didn't? I mean, that would look bad, and I would never do that. But, you know. Alright, let's go collect up some logs. It's gonna take so many. It will take a lot, but I think a lot less than I'm expecting. So, alright. To the tree farm. Yeehaw. Because the log would really fit in with the rest of the base. It's just, you know, the problem is that logs are, one of the most annoying and grindy items to get in the entire game. So I mean, there's that. But Man, this efficiency 5 just cut through them like butter. It's amazing. I've been doing this with a basic diamond axe for the entire game so far. You can just do this. Oh. Although the problem is the only effective way to replant this farm is to cut down all of it. And a lot of times I'm like, well, I need a lot of logs, but I don't need that many. You know, it would almost be like a waste of time to chop down the entire farm and then replant it. But I don't know. For this, we're definitely gonna need, if we're doing the roof entirely out of logs, we are gonna need to empty out this farm more times than I will be able to count. So at least like 6, maybe. Um, because, you know, we need to build the roof of the biggest building I have built so far, and will stay that way for quite some time, as I have a lot of time, but I don't have that much. You know, like I've got other projects to do. And while all of them are in Minecraft, and, well, for now, you know, once school gets back in session, I'll probably have something to do there. Dang, teachers always never thinking about if I want to play Minecraft. Oh, I forgot that I have a bunch of sandstone on me. Oh, I need that. And oh god. This was the greatest plan anyone could ever have come up with. And if anyone says otherwise, you're right. Um, so randomly, just before stream, this was like maybe 40 minutes ago, you know, scrolling through YouTube as I do, like, well, actually I spent a lot of my day not scrolling YouTube, just like letting autoplay do its thing, because, you know, it's usually me going back through, well, nowadays it's me being like, I should watch that series again, or what who was that YouTube? Oh, that was it, and then just like watching all of their stuff again. But I came across the series called No Punctuation, which I had seen in my recommendeds before, but I was like, I don't know. But uh, it was about a game that I've been wondering about for a long time, because it was an episode about We Happy Few, which I had seen, you know, like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, all of them played it, and then they just disappeared. Like, the game was like the main game that people played for maybe 2 days, and then no one talked about it ever again. No game has ever done that. Like, if a game is bad, you will hear, oh my god, this game was actual garbage, and all the developers deserve to burn in hell. You know, like, you'll hear that about even like the smallest of glitches, and, you know, like some indie game that had 6 people working on it for, you know, 15 months, living off of like food stamps and what all. And then this game comes out, which was massively crowdfunded and quite a bit of hype placed around it. And there was this, like, there were the videos and multiple series, and then nothing. It just stopped. You know, a few of the story things happened, and then there was nothing. And it almost seemed like everyone who played the game knew nothing about it. And that kind of stuff, it piques my interest. When it's like, no other game I can think of in recent memory has disappeared as quickly and as quietly as this one has. And I mean, that wasn't even that recent. That was like a few years ago. Like, it was like it was close to the release of like Fallout 76. You know, it was a while ago. and yet nothing's happened. You know, you look at like playlists for it, and it's like a playlist like 3 videos long of a game that's supposed to be like it's like a BioShock. It's long, and they're big games full of stuff. Also, most of the comparisons were drawn from it to BioShock because of the what was it called? Neo-futuristic? Where or no, not that. It's like a futuristic version of the past. So steampunky or I don't know, Great Britain lost World War II like they did in We Happy Few, I guess. I don't know. I don't know anything about that game because no one played it. No one has for years. It got released and then it died immediately. It was like a balloon that was like full of like mercury or something. It was there for a few seconds and it was kind of cool, but after those, damn it, few seconds were up, it was just like, well, what what are we doing now? You know, there was just silence. So it, especially because it was a game that I was like actually kind of interested in, which didn't happen that much back then. It was, oh, this game's kind of popular. Cool. I'm gonna watch about 15 to 70 videos on the story and lore of this video game and literally never play it. Because I'm one of those people sometimes. And this was the kind of game where it's like, oh, you know, this should happen, but eh, nothing happened. And apparently it was a bunch of garbage. Like, it was just not a fun game. Which is probably why people stopped playing it, but why are there so many Endermen? Like, it's pretty rare to see one Enderman, but, like, 2? Now you've gone ludicrous levels. But this was... It's... Zero Punctuation is such a strange series where it's just a very angry British guy screaming and cursing about video games you forgot about for like 5 minutes straight, and it's great. It's what YouTube truly needs right now is a hero like that who is willing to be like, you know what, this game was bad and all of us know it, I'm gonna actually say it was bad. Um, but just such a funny concept, and the only reason I do that too much. The only reason I even like thought about watching it was one of the other YouTubers I watch sometimes uses like the little animated character from Zero Punctuation as their Gmod avatar, and they play Gmod a lot. Like even now, maybe 5 days a week. No, 4 or 5 days a week. There's a Gmod video released, which is super great because Gmod's awesome, and it it's famous for a good reason. It's bad physics. That and the fact that there's so much you can do with it. Like people have been creating games and scenarios for Gmod ever since it was released. And when was that? That was like 2004 or something. Like it was a mod of Half-Life that just kind of that I guess Gabe Newell really liked and was like, well, I don't know, let's buy it. Why not? You know, it's Valve. They make enough money. No one cares. I wonder how much Valve makes on it every year. Probably a lot. Like, you know, because they get a bit of the money from every Steam purchase. You know, I don't know, people still buy Portal because it's one of the greatest games to release. Like, come on, it's Portal. I have played Portal 2 like 15 times. Maybe only like 10. Actually, it's probably more like 3 or 4, but I have played a lot of Portal 2. Not 1. I never finished Portal 1. I don't know, it just wasn't as good. Or maybe it was harder. And I liked Portal 2 because it's not easy, but you know, you're not going to get stuck on any of the Portal 2 levels for more than 5 or 10 minutes. You know, it's not exactly a hyper complex game that, well, I mean, you got to think with portals, but it's not that hard. So, man, I tried to speed run Portal 2 one time. It was long before I knew it, like actually knew anything about speedrunning, and as such, it was an ill-fated attempt to beat the like 1 hour and 18 minutes any percent no glitches, especially because I consistently forgot how to finish puzzles. Like, I mean, especially after like such a long time. It's been a long time since I played Portal. Um, so I especially wouldn't be able to finish it now, but it's like the no glitches category on any speed run is amazing. Like, I, uh, uh, I don't know, maybe a couple of days ago, like, I don't know, maybe a week ago, if, uh, quickly fell down the rabbit hole of speedruns and just like all the weird stuff that's been happening in the speedrunning communities. Most specifically, Doom and GoldenEye. Um, I mean, there's a good reason for that. The YouTuber I was watching happened to be a old school GoldenEye speedrunner and held and still holds multiple world records. So, you know, I guess that's fair that they would, you know, put a little bit more emphasis on the game they played. And I mean, the Doom ones, nothing has happened in the old Doom speedrun communities for many, many years because it's Doom, like the original Doom 1 and Doom 2 from like 1990. Like, nothing's happened in those games since like 2006. You know, like every now and again you'll see a new record being broken, but it's like pretty pretty massive news. And it's just so weird like seeing all of this history in these tiny videos. Like, here are the legacies of all of these people who decided they would spend years to perfect a game, like the run of a game that someone's going to beat because they'll just reuse their strategy and do it a little bit better. Or there's, I have found a way to change the way the game reads its code in the game, like playing as the character, so that the end cutscene starts within 16 minutes. Like, it just skips to the end credit sequence, which is actually a strategy to beat Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. That is currently the any record percent, the any percent record is currently that a strategy that requires you doing a bunch of weird random stuff and just the credits start rolling after about 16 minutes. Maybe even less. No, I think the old record was 16. I think it's like 9 now. Like, that is unbelievable. Who found that? Who went in and was like, huh, you know this glitch from, you know, like a 20-year-old game? Yeah, well, the same glitch works on its predecessor, or its sequel. What if we try to destroy this, like, sign and do all this random stuff with aiming with a slingshot and then, like, just finish the game? Of course, that brings up the dilemma of is that truly finishing the game? Because originally, they glitched to the end by using what they called the wrong warp, where you go from the inside of the Great Deku Tree, and by doing some wizardry with a bottle and playing your sword as an ocarina, because why not? You can teleport straight to the end of Ganon's castle and just beat him. It does require you beating Ganon on 3 hearts and items that you got after leaving Kakariko Forest, uh, but that's not the point. It's also probably one of the most impressive parts of those speedruns is the fact that they still beat Ganon with, you know, the beginning game stuff, like no Goron sword or, I don't know, actual Ocarina of Time. They just have the fairy ocarina that Saria gives you. Like, that's it. And they finish the game with the sword and the shield and the ocarina and a single bottle that you get from a glitch. Like, who who comes up with these things? Who figures out these strategies? It's fascinating. And I mean, it's such an easy rabbit hole to fall down because there's literally since the Atari 2600 there have been speedruns. Like, there is a history of speedrunning ever since video games existed. Well, I mean, like, you can't really speedrun Pong or Tennis for Two or Space War or whatever, but there's still this strange history, most of it lying, like the record for the who is that? Namco? No, that was who is it? Hang on. Square Enix maybe? No, Activision. There it is. For an old Activision Atari game called Dragster, where the record, as it is now, is 5.51 seconds. The longest you could possibly take is maybe 15 seconds, and that's if you're really trying to be slow. Because it has a total of like 100 lines of code, and the person who holds this record is not only lying, but also can't get that record ever again. Like, they have tried with modern technology, but numerous YouTube channels and news stations have tried to get the 5.51 record again. It just isn't possible. People have done the math and checked every bit of the code they can, and you just can't get 5.51 seconds. And according to Activision, the quickest time is 5.1 seconds, which is just ludicrous. I mean, like, come on. If you can't get 5.51, you can't get 5.1 seconds. But, that was back in the day when you had to send in Polaroids of your score to Activision. And, I mean, this guy's story, the one who says he was a 5.51, is stupid. Like, he says that someone at Activision called him to ask him about the way he shifted his dragster, but the person he used was like the community outreach manager for Activision at the time, not someone who would care or even think about dragster in their daily job, or be the person who contacted, not like, not the original programmer or anything, just someone who happened to work at Activision. And it's just, and he's still, to this day, after being shown with 100% accuracy that he cannot, his record is not possible, still is like, well, they weren't there. It's like, no, but there's still only 100 lines of code. You don't have to be there. We can just do math and know exactly how far you got. Or, it could be that you're using a fake Atari, or, there's all of these things. There is so much possible with, like, those kind of lies. And all of it's a whirlpool of lies between this guy, the dragster speed world record, and the people who own the company called Twin Galaxies, which is a database of scores and times for video games from, like, the old video game era. So, like Galaga, Donkey Kong, all those kind of things. And there's a whole scandal around them, like faking every score in their database. Well, not every one of them, but their highest scores for Donkey Kong and, well, Dragster and Pac-Man are fake. Because one guy says he was the first person to ever get a full game of Pac-Man, even though actual records show that he was a couple months behind and might never have done it actually. Because getting a perfect game of Pac-Man is one of the greatest accomplishments one person can achieve. Like, it's so unbelievably difficult to get to not only survive every single level, all 256 of them, without dying once, getting every single point possible. So every time you eat a power pellet, like one of the big ones, killing every single ghost. Not only have to do that, but you also have to just, finish Pac-Man. And once you're at the final level, you have to know where all of the secret dots are. If you know that, then you just have to survive till then, get them all, die, get them all, die, get them all, die. Then eventually, you'll get the 3 million or however many points it is. Actually, I know exactly how many points it is, and I don't know how to feel about that. Um, um, it's kind of fascinating actually, and that's how I fell down that rabbit hole. It was, what was it? It was like the worst fake speedrun on YouTube. That was the first video I watched of this guy's, and it was going through this YouTube channel that has like 42 million subscribers, probably more now. It's a Mexican channel, so I'd never heard of it. Whatever, that's fine. I don't go to the Spanish side of YouTube because I don't understand Spanish, so it's fine that I don't recognize any of those. And it's basically a uh-oh. There we go. A very badly cut together version of multiple other speedruns. Like, just there. Like, there's, like, the person is, like, actively eating and drinking during some of it, and, like, at one point, he doesn't know if he has enough time between the level loading in, like, finishing one level, I think, like, World 6 or something, and the next level loading in, if he can drink his soda. I would know that you don't. Everyone should know that. It's Mario. It loads like that. Because it's Mario. There's only so much you can do. And it's not only that. It's the fact that half of what he did in that speedrun isn't possible to be recreated by humans. Like, if a human actually accomplished that, they would be, like, the most, like, they would have, like, the most perfect possible reaction time and probably take over the world in a couple of years. Like, that's how impressive it would have been, because it was, for a whole level, jumps that would require such precision that only a machine could do it. because, you know, the speedrun they were using was in fact done. It's called a tool-assisted speedrun, or a TAS, where you just kind of input controls into a computer and it does them all. They decided that using one of those would be the greatest idea. So things that aren't possible with the NES controller due to how it works were being done. Like, I guess what I said about it being reaction time was technically false. It's just good controller work that, unless you had a modified controller, wouldn't be possible. Like, it would require a controller with separate outputs for every single part of the D-pad to be able to pull off. And even then, you'd have to jump exactly when you needed to, because his Mario was backwards the entire level for an entire world. And also, he was doing a special speed up that just wasn't possible without tool assisted, and like their editing was sloppy, and like the score would go away quicker than the level, and sometimes you'd see artifacts from like the runs they were using, or they wouldn't check to make sure that they picked up the right amount of coins, so the coin thing would be off by one. Like, oh, it switched to Doom. Do I want to test the fates? I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle of something right now. Oh, wait. I probably shouldn't. Hold on. Because, as far as I know, the bill legalizing um, uh, possible jail time for DMCA strikes went through. So I don't wanna touch that with a 600-foot long pole, because that is a hornet's nest of boomers like any other. What was I talking about? Something about speedruns. But that's like where it all started. That was the first video I watched, and it was like, wow, that is really fascinating. Not only that this channel would fake that, because come on, out of all of the things you could have faked for views, on a channel with 42 million subscribers, higher than every channel except for maybe 5. And back then, this was like 2019, like, they were close to PewDiePie, who was at only like 50 million at that point. Like, they weren't a small channel. They were one of the titans of YouTube. And also, they just did it so poorly, and there are so many people who believed it was true, which, if you didn't know speedruns, you wouldn't know. Like, you wouldn't be able to tell immediately. But these people will go onto other speedruns of Mario that are legit, and these people who have worked for hundreds of thousands of hours sometimes to perfect these runs and be like, you copied this off of this one YouTube channel, this is fake. And it's like, guys, please stop. Just shut the hell up. And this channel has done nothing about it. Like, I mean, that I know of. I really don't care. Well, I mean, I clearly do care at least a little bit, because I've been talking about it for about 5 minutes. Man, mob spawns in this area. Unbelievable. That was the first one. The second one was like going through old Doom speedruns and how those used to be faked, and I mean, still are faked even. So many fake speedruns. Oh. Oh, that's why there's so many zombies. That makes sense now. And nothing good. Great. Oh, that's a dog. Hello, Annabelle. Dog break. Stop it. Stop. Stop. I'm trying to... don't knock over my trash can. Yes, you want attention, and you're just so big. So big. Like, also very, love smacking people. Man, if you aren't petting that dog, and she wants to be pet, she will just, bam, smack you right on the face. I mean, if you're at face level and, I don't know, not aware that she will do that. Not actually that bad. But it is kind of weird when you're just, like, sitting there, you know, chilling out, and, like, she's around, and then just, bap. Like, we'll be sitting down, eating dinner, and then her paw will just be on the side of the table. I mean, she's super obvious, so, you know, you kind of see it coming, but... Anyway, like... The problem is, alright, the way YouTube works is I saw one of this guy's, like, newest videos first. And that meant that I saw all the new news, you know, so, like, not even that long ago, a pretty major milestone was broken with, Super Mario 64. And I had already known that when, like, I saw the video that was like, this has finally been done. This is the greatest Mario speedrun in history so far. And it's like, yeah, I know. Um, uh, so I had to, like, prematurely stop watching those videos when he had so many left because I already knew what happened. Ow. Ow, that was not nice. Anyway. But that was a fun rabbit hole for about a day. And then I felt, that always happens where, like, I'll just be chilling on YouTube and then rabbit hole upon rabbit hole will happen, and it's kind of fun. It, I think it's why so many people still love YouTube, even though we all know it's not the greatest platform. Like, it's getting harder and harder for even, like, larger channels for them to survive with, you know, Kappa and all that kind of stuff popping up when it really shouldn't. Like, they are being just destroyed and will continue to be destroyed for a long time, and the only point that will ever fix itself is if something other than YouTube comes up and has managers that aren't, you know, 70 years old. Like, same with politics. We need to just get all these old people out so that the newer generation can come in and, like, screw it up, but better. You know? Not screw up everything as much. Just do it in a way that everyone agrees is necessary at that point, and then everyone will be like, 4 years later, be like, oh god, oh, why did we elect this person again? Why did we let, like, I don't know, who'd be a bad president of, like, a modern generation? Why did we let a TikTok star be president? I mean, they wouldn't be allowed to due to most TikTok stars being, like, I don't know, less than 15 years old. Jesus, it's such a horrible website. Like, don't get me wrong, there is good content on there. I've seen some of it. Then, there's a lot, just so much utter garbage. Hold on. I keep moving my water bottle in front of my camera, and it screws it up a little bit. And then there's just so many underage kids doing things that no child should do. And that's the problem with TikTok, is that, specifically. That exists, and so many people are like, well, it's just a creative outlet. Yeah, it's also an outlet for pedophiles, but no one seems to be talking about that. So, that's like one of the reasons I was like, finally TikTok is being banned, not because I happen to dislike the people or the content that's on there, Don't get me wrong, it's not my cup of tea, but you know, it's like I was never super big into Vine. Not that I was really on the internet for its uh, inception and death. I was just kind of around. I wasn't on Vine. I was, I was on YouTube and stuff. Like I was watching things and actively around, but I didn't know about Vine because the only reason I really know about Vine is because most Vine stars are on YouTube now. So I learned about it that way. And that there are some great content there still, and so many people spend a lot of their time on YouTube watching vines. Like the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Vine compilations, which are fine, I've watched a few myself. Like there might not be any like nostalgia or anything there. Oh, that needs to be far more circular, but we can figure that out later. Um, but it's still kind of fun, you know. It's a lot of people have put a lot of work into these things, so I still respect it. Unlike TikTok, where it's really just a bunch of kids doing stupid trends that no one actually likes continuously, and slowly getting worse and worse. And also, I mean, like, the misrepresentation of where songs and characters came from is going to be a big problem as time moves on. So many memes are like when Master Chief was added to Fortnite. There were like tens upon hundreds of. That's not the best. You know what I mean? There were hundreds and hundreds of memes about like someone like playing cosplaying Master Chief, like, oh, that's from Fortnite, and then like punching the kid because it's the internet, and punching things is basically all they can come up with. But will it ever happen? No, probably not. Not for a long time until kids find like, you know, I guess whatever the next generation is gonna be. Would that be Generation ZA or AA? I don't know. We'll figure it out at some point. Um, but whenever they start finding old YouTubers like Ali A, well, old to them, I guess, and we'll see like Master Chief and stuff there, then we'll have that problem. But it's going to take a long time. No current kids are dumb enough to know that Master Chief isn't from Fortnite. Like it's so obvious. Like everything around the Master Chief ad event was, with Halo and stuff. It's like everyone knows it's from Halo. But we are going to have to think about at some point there will be people who won't know that Master Chief is from Halo. And it will be the kids who are 2 or 3 right now who will go on to Fortnite whenever they're allowed to and eventually see Master Chief and Kratos and who else was added? I don't know, Marvel characters. And then that will be their first connection will be with Fortnite. So maybe eventually they will learn. Oh crap, I've got so many heads. Wow. I have slaughtered so many villagers. Um, but I don't think that that's going to be a problem for a long time. And if it ever is a problem, it's like, well, no, it's not from Fortnite. And they'll be like, oh, okay. Like just show them a picture of Halo. And if they're like, well, I saw it first in Fortnite, it's like, we have just go onto YouTube. Or hell, just show release dates of Halo, whatever the first Halo is. Just I guess Halo 1, or hell, you could show Halo Reach maybe, and be like, no, this in fact came first. and then like, oh, all right, because there are a lot of stubborn people online, but none of them are ever going to be stubborn enough to actively refute perfect evidence. Well, I mean, we all know that's a lie. So many people do that right now. Um, the newer generations, hopefully, will not be dumb enough to refute perfect evidence, such as release dates and wiki pages. That is so many villagers. Um, let me, no, you're, closing that off. Blocking that up. Alright, let's get some more heads. Um, and I mean, I never played Halo. You know, I never did any of that kind of stuff. The only game like that I ever played was Call of Duty, and it was never like, you know, this super duper serious thing. It was like, oh, you know, my friend plays this, and I'm over at their house. Why not play some COD? I was never good, or and I much preferred the zombies mode over any other one, which I still hold on to. I despise base Halo or COD. Like I would much rather play zombies because those kind of modes are a lot of fun. And this tower is definitely getting out of hand, and I'm just gonna make it worse. Um, but definitely adding old characters to Fortnite will bring some people into Fortnite, but it will pull so many more away to see these beloved characters in anything other than their own game, especially Kratos. That's stupid, man. Like, they already have, what's his name from season 5, which was like their own Norse god. They don't need Kratos. Also, what a weird game. Like, to add in, like, I mean, I know a lot of people really, really loved the new God of War. I found it fascinating. You know, I will never play it, most likely, but I believe it's console only. And I don't have any consoles. I have a PC. Um, but just it still it's kind of annoying that I mean, I know that Epic Games probably paid, you know, whatever studios they needed to ludicrous amounts of money to have these characters in Fortnite, but still, man, like come on. They're better than that. Actually, they're not. It's Epic. But still, you know, I can have some sort of hope. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I used to play Fortnite a lot. Uh, back in season 4 through. I played a lot of season 4 and 5. I stopped around season 6. And then I played one. I don't even think I played one round of season 10. And then I played a little bit of. Uh, I guess seasons 1 and 2 of part 2, I guess I would call it. But otherwise, I kind of stopped after a long time because originally it was like this game has amazing story. You know, the stories were creative and original. And then they stopped being. They lost that. You know, they became dumb, repetitive, and started using characters like Galactus and like Tony Stark as main parts of the game instead of their own original versions of these characters. It became like this weird cycle of selling out and getting more players and hate because of it and then selling out more, and it became this just this horrible thing of a vast majority of the internet not liking the game, not only because its player base is bad, but because the developers are bad, and only seem to care that people kept coming in and buying the skins instead of, look, here's this creative, original game. It's, huh, I have an idea. How about, you know that new Avengers movie, that really, really took off. How about we, make their characters into some of our characters and, do literally nothing with any of them? Like, I mean, I didn't play any of the new seasons and never will play ever again, most likely, because it's like 100 GB, and I don't got that kind of space. Ow. I used to be able to kill me in one shot. Ow, ow. Now it takes multiple. Ah, ooh, ah. That's not great for my armor. Oh well. And remove all the villagers from your village. Ah, ooh, lag, 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 lag. Sometimes golems will like to get themselves into this weird cycle of murdering me, where they will murder me and tell each other, "Yo, murder this guy," and then they will just keep continuously killing me, and it's really annoying. But whatever, because I've had worse. Maybe, I don't know. And look at how nice and big this village is. It would have been nice to set up here, but far too late for that. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like, Galacticus is one of my favorite Marvel villains of all time. Like, just this massive beast of, like, I guess kinda human, but about as human as the X-Men, I guess, who just goes around and consumes planets. That's awesome. And then they're like, I've got an idea. What if we take him out, like this beast that took every Avenger and, you know, all of the... Oh god, this village is so screwed up. Like, just every possible thing. I think this was original 116, so there's a good reason it's like this. Like, just that took the entirety of Marvel's catalog at the time to kill. Maybe it was just the Fantastic Four. Still very powerful together. And then we kill them using battle buses. Yeah, let's do that. It's just, I don't know. I know that some people liked the event, but I watched someone play the event. It wasn't good. The old events were great, like the rocket launch event, super hyped up. It was great. Like, I mean, I wasn't there for it. We had something to do that day, unfortunately. I commented on that for like a week afterwards because I guess I had nothing better to talk about. Uh, and the Cube event, great. Original, unique. What happened after that? The Loot Lake moving around, all that kind of stuff, great. Good stuff. You know? It was fine. I mean, you know, not like groundbreaking or anything, but original at least. And now it's like, have a Marvel villain. That's not a way to end a season. That is a mid-season event for just like, oh crap, I'm running out of rockets. I need to head back. That's the event that is like the lead up. You know, they defeat Galacticus, and then there's someone controlling Galacticus within the Fortnite universe or something. I don't know. Something other than, yeah, you killed him. Next season. Maybe I'm complaining too much about a kids game that I haven't played in like half a year or more. Or maybe I just hate that one of the coolest villains of all time will now be just forever intertwined with Fortnite. Take your pick. I'm gonna say it's the second one. I don't even remember what the first one was. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like it for a long time, other than maybe Minecraft and Roblox, was my highest played game that actually like, counted hours. Uh, because a lot of games don't count hours. Any game on Steam or even like Epic Games or anything does, but you know that's not most games. A lot of games are on there, but games like Minecraft and Roblox, as far as I know, I never checked for Roblox because I don't care. And also my old account no longer exists due to the fact that it was on a old school email account that was removed the day I graduated. Which is weird. Like I remember my brother and one of his friends talking about how they kept their school accounts for like years, actual years after they left the school. And for me, nope, bam, right as I left. So I couldn't even like switch it over. And also it was such a weird and buggy account ever since I had made it. Like it was almost like the account didn't want to exist. Like it just shouldn't exist. So it was consistently. I don't have any guys look like that. Who the hell are you? I think. Are mine bugged? Whatever. I don't care. Um. Maybe that's just like a rare version or something. I just. There we go. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I played so much Roblox back in the day. Like, you know, back when that was cool. When was that, like 2005 or something? Not even that. It was like 2010, 2015. And you know what? I remember enjoying a lot of it, but I also remember I played a lot of very worthless games and spent time and sometimes actual money on them, and I wish I could get some of that back. Like, just some of the stupidest, most worthless games to ever come out of the human consciousness is in Roblox. And some of the most creative ways to play some games. Great, there's some good stuff on there. Like, it's not all hot garbage aimed at taking money from children. I mean, a vast majority of it is, but, you know, there's every once in a while. And, you know, I met some people. I have never contacted them after, and my friends list is just, I mean, as of now, inaccessible, and I wouldn't remember any of them, as I just kind of sometimes went into servers and uh, friend requested everyone. I was a weird, weird person. I guess I thought everyone liked me. I think a lot of people didn't. Which might have been because a lot of kids at my school actually liked me, and they didn't like them because they were annoying and, you know, that kind of stuff. But man, I remember, like, first off, alright, Markiplier, you know, like, the YouTuber with like 27 million subscribers, created a video on Roblox, um, like a couple of months ago. It was very funny, and I very much enjoyed it because it's fun seeing like those kinds of people go in and play these stupid games that I used to play, and you know be bad at them and complain that even with their like you know RTX 2070s and full i5 or i9s or whatever the hell, their games are still lagging, and it's taking up upwards of 90% of their CPU. It's like, welcome to Roblox, ladies and gentlemen, where you will get 10,000 frames per second, but your computer will light on fire because of it. Like half of Mark's first video on Roblox was like super janky and laggy as his computer was like, I don't know what this program is. Is this a virus? Like, they were banned from the school computers because we kept getting viruses. That was for a different reason. Probably because they let, um, you know, stupid people and me onto computers. Uh, and so we got viruses, and they blamed it on Roblox for some stupid reason and banned it completely. Whereas at my school currently, I was in class one day, and one of the kids sitting next to me was like, "Dude, do you want to download Roblox?" I was like, "Sure, I have an account." I made a secondary account after my first one died, and us and like 9 other people in class just played Roblox because we were in the computer lab. Our teacher just couldn't care less. I mean, he's a great teacher. And I only have him for like one more semester, which is super sad, but whatever. Um, I don't know if I'll make it back. Uh, oh, I'll make it. It's fine. And like that's all we did. We just went in and played Phantom Forces, which is kind of like I guess a Call of Duty clone. Not great. I mean, it's pretty good, and I had some items. Oh wait, no, I didn't because I played it on my old account. Wow, really digging up old memories here from the time before Corona. Um, and like that's just what we did during class sometimes. That or because I'm a genius and definitely know how to use computers properly, um, I figured out a way to get games onto the computer's shared drives. Specifically, a non-functioning version of Skyrim, um, because you need Steam to run it, but, school computers and all. And every Five Nights at Freddy's, except for Help Wanted, because that's VR, and well, once again, school computers. And also, like, Bending the Ink Machine, uh, SCP Containment Breach, the old one, not the new remade one, and at least a few others that I'm forgetting. I mean, like, very few people played them, but I did it because my brother done the same thing, actually, with Quake 3. He had somehow got a copy of Quake 3, not only to run on school PCs, but to, like, into the shared drive, which wasn't that hard back then. It was just like, create a new file, and then just, that was it. There were no protections. Then, because of him, they had to add protections, and then I broke the protections. Oh, and also, we got an old version of Minecraft, which you have to use because the newer versions are blocked from downloading, and the Goose, not the Goose game, but you know that I guess most people call it a virus, but the Goose program you can run, where it's just the goose like wandering around your screen. That we got that on there, and so some of us would be doing our assignments, and a teacher would walk over. And it's like, oh, what is that? Whoa! And there'd just be a goose and like random memes from the goose on our computers. It's like, a smoothie. I don't know. Ah, what a beautiful tower of mostly murdered villagers. A lot of farmers, but also mostly unemployed. Anyway, I'm probably gonna tear that down at some point because it's a pretty massive ice. I'm wasting my life. But you gotta admit that's pretty funny. Like originally it was just like up to there, and then I was like, I'll, I'll keep adding. God, that is so many. It's gonna be such a massive pain to not only take it down, but to add to it if I'm ever going to again. But man, school before Corona was great. I had a lot of fun. Unfortunately, this stream has been hyper unproductive. Um, but I'm gonna have to end it. I'm sorry, my voice hurts. Um, I'm usually better than this, but it is not doing too hot right now. Ow. Uh, so I'll have to like end it right here. We'll go on to the horrible spider web that is this pyramid, and then that'll have to be it for today. I'm sorry it wasn't full length. I really wanted it to be. Hell, you can see my mouth. The tracking is not great, so there's a reason I tend to not like. There's a reason that this character's mouth is covered. It's because the mouth tracking can be sometimes not only iffy but kind of distracting. So, with that, that'll be all for today. I'm sorry I didn't get anything done, and it was not great, but you know what? It was a lot of fun. A lot of good memories were brought back up, and you know, we got coal, so we were, I guess, bad. Probably because I murdered so many villagers. So, I hope you have a great rest of your morning, evening, noon, day, whatever time it is for you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully. There should be nothing blocking me from streaming tomorrow, but we'll see how my voice is. So, see you then. I'll probably do a little bit more prep, but, bye. I've got nothing else to say.